What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNBA show, where we break down everything that happened with the Denver Nuggets this week and bounce around the NBA. I am Adam Mares. This is Brendan Vogt. This is Harrison Wind. Let's get started. All right, guys. I understand that there have been some issues.
Yeah.
That there's some things plaguing you that you'd like to discuss professionally. And, well, the doctor is here.
Professionally. I had some personal concerns, but
I'll see you now. What can I help you with?
Well, I have a question about just Gary Harris's season in general. Gary Harris has the lowest true shooting percentage since his rookie year. Ooh. And I don't even know if we can count his rookie year because he barely played. He has the lowest true shooting percentage since his rookie year. Doc, what the heck is going on here?
Has this been going on all year?
It's been a year-long disease.
Wow.
Yeah. Going on a couple months now.
I think it's one of those things where it's a symptom of a larger problem.
Is it?
And I wonder sometimes if with Gary Harris, maybe he's been trying a little too much. Maybe a little reduction in what you're doing might be the thing that kind of ails you and ups the efficiency. Maybe efficiency is more important than productivity.
A little classic case of less is more.
Could he benefit, Doctor, from a more concrete understanding of his role?
I think so, but also, sometimes that understanding of what your role is comes naturally. Sometimes you can't prescribe or over. I don't know how to keep this bit going.
Sorry, you can just make your point.
Sometimes I think, naturally you have to look around and say what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
And maybe what's not working is an increase in the things you're trying to do.
Anything you would prescribe to Mr. Harris?
I think that this goes hand in hand with Nikola Jokic's just overall ability to bend the defense. When the defense isn't being bent by him and him forcing the defense to react to him, I think Gary Harris is a guilty bystander, a bystander of that. Guilty bystander.
Doctor, I have
catches the reference.
I have. It's because you're old.
Have you ever heard of a guilty bystander?
I have an issue as well. My friends and I were big fans of the Denver Nuggets basketball team. Their star player, Nikola Jokic, he's only shooting 24% from three.
Oh, my.
Is there a diagnosis there? Can you help us out?
Has there been a weight gain in recent?
He's looking a little heavier.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. I suspected that might be the case. Has there been like a loss of energy?
It does seem, yes, loss of energy.
Okay, a little bit of a loss of energy.
Big loss of energy.
And, maybe it's a little depression. I mean, has he seemed like himself?
He hasn't seemed like himself, no.
Wow, you know what? I think I know what the problem is. I think he just needs some fun juice. Jokic is a player that some fun juice. I could write a prescription. Jokic is a player that we all know plays better with joy, when there's a little bit of life and joy into the game. And right now, it's a slog for him. Basketball does not look very fun. And
not at all.
And I think, unfortunately, until the game sort of becomes a little bit more enjoyable and whatever's in his head, gets out, I think he's going to continue to struggle with that three-point shot.
It's bad enough that he's dealing with this problem to begin the year, but it seems like his poor three-point percentage is affecting those around him. It's affecting his coworkers. It's affecting his teammates.
And it can be contagious.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it could be.
When you're taking 6-7 3-pointers a game and you're not making any of them, the defense maybe gets to sag off a little bit, clog the paint. Now everybody else's shots are becoming a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
I think this is a real problem.
Is he too reliant on the three, Doctor? Do you like the shots he's taking?
I don't think that he's too reliant. I think you have to take what the defense gives you, and a wide-open three-pointer is an important shot. He's got to be able to knock them down, and we know that he knocks these down at a better rate than he is, which is 24%.
Right.
Really, really bad rate. We need to get some fun, and a fun injection. We got one more?
Yeah, final diagnosis for you, Doc.
Okay.
The bench. What the heck is going on with the bench?
Yeah, what's up?
Is it affecting everybody?
Yes, it's a second unit-wide issue right now.
Wow.
Pretty much everybody. Yeah.
Is this a problem that we noticed from last year, or is this a new thing?
No, this is a new problem. Wow. This disease came out of nowhere. Was not here last year. It got hatched this summer or something.
Has there been any recent success or any recent rebound?
Yeah, it seems like they might have changed up their supplements or something.
Okay.
Changed up their intake here over the last couple of games.
I'm gonna recommend a change in diet. I think they need a healthy dose of Juancho Hernangomez.
I love it.
I think a little bit more Juancho in that lineup is going to look. A lot of times units are, mix and match pieces. Not let's just put the 5 best guys in a vacuum out there, but how do these 5 guys fit to each other? And one, I think staggering the lineup so that Jokic is playing more with some of those other guys, Jamal Murray, Gary Harris. We saw this in last night's game. Will Barton and Gary Harris both playing with the second unit and sort of being the featured player of that second unit. I think more of that, but also just a healthy injection of Juancho Hernangomez, a floor spacer, a guy that gladly embraces being the 5th option, and who I think can do some underrated things that don't show up in the box score.
I'm with it.
Sounds good, Doc.
Cured. Boom. You're welcome, guys. That'll be $10,000.
Oh, that sounds about right, actually. Dude,
I'm
come
glad
on.
Vogue got this one.
Come on.
You both have to do it.
Oh, we both do it? Oh.
All right, can I have language of origin, please?
Georgia.
Okay,
Country
can you just
origin.
say it one more time, start to finish?
Nicolas Skidishvili.
Nikola SVIS Skeely. I don't know.
Okay, Nicolas Skidishvili. Nikolas STS KIS
ING.
TSKISTIV.
Are we done?
ISHKLI.
Dude. Ogen? OGEN. What's that last name?
Stojakovic.
STOYAVIK?
OGNJEN STOJAKOVIC. Ogden Stojakovic.
All right, we're going to play a new game called Clue, where I give you a clue. I mean, I always explain these, and that they're very
Pretty
self-explanatory.
For the record, it's not spelled the same as Clue. If you're like trademark police, it's spelled differently.
It is spelled.
There's no E at the
I'm
end.
going to have the graphic that says Clue. Okay,
Oh, well.
CLEW. I
This
guess.
is
Now
why,
your work's
this is
cut
why
out
you
for
did
you.
bad in the spelling bee earlier.
No, that's because I'm a moron.
All right, guys, who am I? I am second on the team in wide open threes per game at 2.8.
Jeremy Grant.
Wow, I thought that was going to take a little bit longer. That is correct. The other
Wait,
clue-
seriously?
Second worst at 29% on wide open threes. But
I went
getting
back
to
and
take
watched
those.
every single Jeremy Grant 3 from this year a couple days ago.
How many of
I'm
them
well
were wide
aware of his
open?
struggles. All but one.
All but one of them. Is this a
Yes.
true stat?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
How many of them were in the corner? Like 2?
Maybe.
Yeah, there are a lot of above the break. So,
One.
Yeah, so what's going on with this? I think I've always talked about it's the rhythm of the offense, not just the openness of the shots. I mean, is he being used or is the shots coming to him the type of shots you want to see him getting at the volume that he is?
He's taken way more threes in the first month of the season than I really expected him to when Denver signed him this summer. It seems like he's almost been exclusively used as a three-point shooter, and I have a really hard time believing that's the player, that's the role they envisioned him having.
For me, though, I think some of that is, again, like we said earlier, a symptom of a larger problem. The bench has had next to nothing going offensively for large stretches, and a lot of those threes to me looked like, screw it, we got to try something.
Yeah.
Who am I? I am leading the team in pace, leading the team in offensive rebound percentage.
Will Barton III.
Second on the team in true shooting percentage.
Juancho? Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr., we got it. So, pace has been a question for this team. The pace has been really slow when he's on there. Now, this is a small sample size.
True.
This could easily revert in a few more minutes. But, does seem to pick up the pace. He does crash the offensive glass really, really well, leading the team in offensive rebound percentage. And then thus far has been a productive shooter, scorer. What do we make of Michael Porter Jr. and just where we're at 11 games into it?
Yeah, his offensive rebound percentage probably a lot higher than his defensive rebound percentage.
Yeah.
More of an urgency on the offensive glass. There's been ups, there's been downs to Porter's first couple weeks with the Nuggets. I think that's what it's largely going to be over the course of the season. He's going to have a lot of really encouraging moments and a lot of rookie mistakes. But he is a guy who I think, once he keeps getting more playing time, once his minutes get ramped up, I think things are going to start to click for him rapidly.
I feel how MPJ feels, which is how are we supposed to know until he plays more?
So would you play him some more, even through some of the bumps that might come with that?
Yes, because A, the second unit hasn't been good as it is, and B, we talked about this. Michael Malone's talked about this. It's not an 82-game season. You're trying to win the finals. Well, the best version of your basketball team this season includes one that sees MPJ further along than where he is now.
Whose minutes get
Torrey Craig.
expensed? Well, Torrey Craig's out.
Out of the
Juancho
rotation.
Hernangomez is in.
Yep.
But is Malik Beasley also out?
That would have to be part of it, wouldn't it?
I think it would.
Yeah. I mean, the tough thing with Porter, the only way he's going to help you in the playoffs, the only way he's going to help you in the stretch run of the season is if you get his feet wet now, if you get him some minutes now.
Yeah.
And, that's going to be some tough sacrifice in this rotation.
I wouldn't mind seeing Michael Porter Jr. at the 2, though. We'll see. Maybe we'll get a few minutes of that. All right, last one. I'm leading the team in defensive box plus minus.
Gary Harris.
Leading the team
No.
Paul Millsap.
in free throw rate.
Oh, Will Barton III.
Leading the team in dunks.
Jeremy Grant? No.
Oh, wow. I only came up with 3 clues because I thought this would be so easy after
Paul
3.
Millsap?
Mason Plumlee.
Oh, duh.
The
Duh.
unsung hero of the Denver Nuggets.
So unsung that we forgot about
Yeah,
it.
I was going to say. Yep.
Staying on brand. So we talked about the bench
Leading the
being
team
bad.
in free throw rate?
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
So we talked about the bench not being good. I don't know I don't think that's Mason Plumlee's fault. I mean, a lot of times with a center like him, he's dependent on the rest of the unit kind of doing their job. But,
Sure.
Leading the team in defensive box plus minus, a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, no, but the juxtaposition between he and Jokic has been stark, right? In terms of energy level and how much they care, not just on defense, but the glass. And it's to the point where I start to wonder if Michael Malone is going to want to give him more minutes.
I think so.
Even though we talked a lot about how he's not going to get a lot this year.
Well, this latest win, we were sitting there on press row saying, man, I would almost rather have Mason Plumlee out on the floor
Dead
than
serious.
Nikola Jokic. We've never said that
Never,
before
ever.
in these last 4 years.
That was the very first one. But there might be something to this. So we all feel that Jokic is probably a little out of shape. I think it could be exaggerated easily, but a little out of shape. Maybe a recipe for him, both from a morale standpoint and from a getting in shape standpoint, is less minutes. I know that sounds crazy, but harder minutes. Maybe you're at 27, 28 minutes per game, but you get to go a little bit harder, and you slowly ramp that up over the next month or so until he's back to regular minutes. Mason Plumlee, I think, capable of handling some of that.
extremely capable. He's been a starter on a playoff team before. He was one of the better backup centers in the league last year, so he can definitely take on an increase in minutes.
And I think he gets better when he plays with better players.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Yep.
true.
Can you use that in a sentence, please?
Yakuba Diawara cannot shoot the basketball.
Yakuba Diawara. Yakuba Diawara. Yakuba Diawara.
Yakuba. What's the last name?
Diawara.
Come on, man. Diorawa. I don't know. Dior. I don't know.
Chopper Travellini.
Chopper Travellini. Chopper. Travoli. Chopper Travellini.
Travallogini.
Hey guys, now I want to talk about the offense because it has been stuck in a rut. 21st in offensive rating, 28th in effective field goal percentage, and dead last in pace. Not that pace is the best indicator of a healthy or unhealthy offense, but all three of those stats taken together, this team is just stuck in the mud. I mean, first of all, I guess I'll start with this. How concerned are you about the offense, and how certain or uncertain are you about it getting better over time?
Yeah, there's definite concern because I don't think it's just all about missing wide open threes, which is where a lot of the blame has been put on for the offensive struggles. It's a lot more than that. So I have some concern. I think it can get better, though, and it just starts with Jokic. It really does. If he is able to snap out of this rut and string together a couple really good games, I think the offense could get back on track pretty quickly. But make no mistake, it starts with him.
And I think that's because the better Jokic plays and the more the ball's in his hands and the more it goes through him, obviously the better off the offense is. Right now there's too much Jamal Murray, who is an incredible individual scorer, but does he lift 5 guys up offensively? No, that's not their recipe for success. Too much Jamal, not enough Jokic right now.
And speaking of Jamal, his shot profile has really changed this year. Anytime a player's shot profile takes a drastic change one year to the next, you kind of have to raise your eyebrows, and especially when his are going away from the 3-point line and into the mid-range and long too. How big of a concern is that, just the change of shot profile?
It's big. In the modern NBA, you're scoring points in the paint or from three, especially guards, right? The dynamic guards that terrorize the league. That's how they do it. That's how they get it done. And so if you're a defense, I've talked about this before, Jamal Murray comes down and he hits a tough shot. I don't think you say to yourself, let's change what we're doing. I think you say, let's make him do that again.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal because, in my opinion, his shot profile is probably the biggest reason why this Nuggets offense looks so much different than it has in years past. All the twos he's taken, all the mid-range jumpers. Denver didn't used to generate those types of shots within its offense. It used to be more threes, more layups, more shots at the rim. So I just think his shot profile has just changed the look of this thing so much.
Sometimes with the Nuggets offense, we really wonder what's the chicken, what's the egg to all of this. And I think that Murray's shot profile and taking over a large part of the offense is a big part of it. But I also wonder if it's more of a byproduct, if it's more the egg, not the chicken, to just Jokic's general malaise.
Yes,
I mean, if he's knocking down his 3-point shots, the defense is extending higher. If he's punishing players in the post, teams are collapsing more and you're getting more kickouts. So I kind of think that a lot of this boils down, as it always does, a lot of this boils down to Jokic, who just hasn't been great, and I don't know if the team can play the style they're used to until he is great. Yep. So what should we look at? So what should we expect from Jokic? Like, what are realistic expectations? Now, I know when fans hear, what should we expect from Jokic? Well, he's a pay to max, and we should expect greatness. Yes. But realistically, what do you expect to see from him over the next 10 games?
I expect him to snap out of this eventually.
Will it be overnight?
No, I think it will take a couple games. It will take a couple games of the Nuggets offense really vibing and really jiving like it did last year for him to break out of it, I think.
I don't think it's going to take a big Jokic game. I think it's going to take consecutive great Nuggets games in which he doesn't have to do much. And I think once he sees that, I think he's trying to prove a point that they shouldn't need him. And so once he sees that that's the case, ironically, I think he might start giving you more.
So you still feel that way? I think this is interesting because we're all trying to figure out what's going on, including I think the Nuggets coaching staff.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't think anybody has the answer to this, quite frankly. I've talked to a lot of people both on and off the record. But so you think that it is a thing that a couple healthy games, and maybe he snaps out of making the point, and now the energy is higher and the effort is higher?
Yeah, but those games have to go a specific way. Like, he can't come out and dominate, or it's not about Jamal scoring 40. It's about the team moving the ball and playing good defense, regardless if he's on the court or not. Yeah, that's what he cares about.
Yeah, I think it could take a couple games. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but we've seen with this team the switch can flip rather quickly before.
Next 10 games, a little bit better, significantly better, the exact same, or worse offensively for the Nuggets?
A little bit
I'll
better.
say a little bit better, too. Yeah,
I think they're going to creep closer towards last year. I don't think they'll get there.
I'll say a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit better.
I think a little bit better to a lot better. I do think Michael Malone has made the change to the rotation. I think I don't know if Juancho's going to stick in the rotation. I mean, it only takes a couple bad games, which he's capable of. But I do think that there is I do think Torrey Craig's minutes are probably down and out for a little bit, and the options that are there, Michael Porter Jr., Juancho Hernangomez, Malik Beasley, are all guys that I think should help the offense and have just a better chance of knocking down shots.
So maybe it's the case that they don't necessarily need external help to inject life or some new dimensions to this offense, right? There's a lot of talent.
No. I mean, I'm still under the belief that they have the talent here, absolutely, to put together a formidable bench unit and be the team that we thought they were going to be coming into the season.
There you guys go, a Harrison win guaranteed.
SARUNAS. Can you say the last name again?
Nope.
MARCIALONIAS.
SARUNAS. MAR. Bro, I don't know.
DIKEMBMUTONBO. That's all I got.
All right, guys, we're going to close out today's show, as we always do, by rating the best highlights from the week. Let's take a look at what Brendan Vogt picked out.
Saying in our losses we don't guard anyone. In our
oh my goodness!
man.
Oh my goodness! What a pass! This is an interesting highlight. This is an interesting one.
I'm ready to defend.
Let's do it. Ready? Go. 8,
9.
9. I guess you're the one.
You guys are underrating this pass. I mean, This pass, a no look, like behind the back.
It's a gorgeous
with the
pass.
right hand, a bounce pass on point.
Gorgeous
Also,
pass.
the sneaky thing about this pass, the amount of pace Jokic had to put on this behind the back pass.
Oh, there's a little speed.
The sneakier thing about this pass, how wildly gratuitous and unnecessary it was.
That makes it a better
yeah,
highlight.
Good
I
point.
honestly
No,
don't
good
care
point.
about that.
Yeah,
So I'm bumping it up to a 9 now.
Insane.
All right, let's take a look at the next one. Okay.
Is that Joe Harris?
Oh!
The loudest miss.
All right,
The
so a
loudest
quality miss here. Ready? Go.
I'm giving him a miss
An 8. I gave it a 6. Come on.
Inches away from ending the basketball career of one Joe Harris, who I quite like. Jeremy Grant is the most fun athlete on this team, including Malik Beasley.
If that dunk went through, it was a 10.
It's a
It was
10.
maybe it was the best highlight of the year if it goes through.
Yeah.
And on top of that, look at the score, guys. 77-77. Pepsi Center wanted that one so bad.
I don't even think the broadcast angle does it justice. If you were in the building, it was like, ooh.
We might have had a better angle, but I
Yeah.
think Jeremy Grant just jumped too high on this one. That's
Yeah.
what actually happened.
Man, you know what's funny is as soon as he takes that first dribble, like right here, you're like,
First of
oh
all,
man, he's just gonna murder Joe Harris.
This is where Joe Harris goes, God damn it.
Yeah,
Second of
like,
all,
I have to rotate over.
second of all, look at Wancho wide open in the corner.
Oh gosh, you would. All right, let's take a look at the next one.
Minutes to go. Nuggets down by 10.
Oh god, this one doesn't look like it's gonna go. Oh no, oh no.
It's really
Oh,
Trey Young
God.
on the N1
Oh,
mixtape tour.
and the stare down. Oh my goodness, the cold stare down. Ready?
I
Go.
hate to do it. This
I
is a
hate to
10.
do it, too.
10s
It is a
across
10.
the
It
board.
was
so dope.
This is an incredible
If there was an
highlight.
exact moment I became a Trey Young fan, it was this one. And then he's doing it to the Nuggets.
To look like Trey Young and get away with talking ish to people on the bench like that, you have to do something that dope.
Yeah.
Then I was disappointed that the Nuggets didn't
Me too.
didn't get because the effort was they were at like a 90. That was not a 100. And if somebody
def-
nutmegs me and then like stares me down,
In their defense, they just didn't care.
No,
very much.
they're down by 12 in this. They kind of probably felt like the game was over.
oh,
They deserved it.
that was a 10. He earned it. All right, just for good spirits because of last night.
In
Let's
honor
go to it.
of the return.
What is it? Oh my goodness!
pass.
Oh, what a pass! Let's see.
There should
Oh, let's go! Ready, set, reveal.
10.
A 15. It got a 15, the first ever.
This wasn't the
DNVR.
highlight of the year.
Yeah, it
One
really
of 'em.
was. You know, it is also the beginning of the end because if you look at this is when Denver went up.
Stop it.
went up
We've talked all
3-2.
year. How do we make the Denver Nuggets fun again? Here's your answer. Wancho.
More shimmies to the bench.
He made last night's game better. He made the highlights from last year better. He made the show better. I think you're onto something.
What a guy.
Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Don't forget you can subscribe to DNVR for $3.74 a month. Get all of our premium content. We'll see y'all next week.
See you next week.